Good, please turn to 2 Timothy chapter 1, verses 2 through 7.
2 Timothy, which chapter?
Chapter 1. And it reads, to Timothy, my dearly beloved son, grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and Christ Jesus our Lord. I thank God whom I serve from my forefathers with pure conscience, that without ceasing I have remembrance of thee in my prayers night and day, greatly desiring to see thee, being mindful of thy tears, that I may be lifted with joy. When I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt in first thy grandmother Lois and thy mother Eunice. And I am persuaded that in thee also. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance, that thou stir up the gift of God which is in thee, by putting on of my hands. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. This morning I want to speak on a message entitled, Say No to Fear. Well, what is fear? According to the Webster Dictionary, fear is the unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that something or someone is dangerous or unfamiliar. What are some things we fear? Well, some people fear dark or little critters like spiders, or in my case, stepping out into the real world next year. What causes fear? Things like uncertainties or our mindset and doubt. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verses 2 through 7, Paul is writing a letter to Timothy to tell him to not be afraid, because God has still something greater than us, and that something is faith. Faith lives in our mind, kind of like I have faith in video games that nobody can beat me. Or kind of how me and him went to Fort Valley yesterday and we were accepted, but before we stepped on the campus, we had faith and confidence. Amen. Dr. Martin Luther King said, faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase. Amen. In Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. You should never doubt yourself. Always have confidence that you can do anything or be anything you want. Always have a positive mindset when going into any situation, no matter the circumstances. You should never quit and always try. Oftentimes in life, we as young people, and sometimes adults too, ask for help before even trying. We may try once and throw it up to the side without ever trying again. Dr. Martin Luther King said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Amen. When Rosa Parks stayed in her seat at the front of the bus, she said no to fear. When Barack Obama became the first elected black president of this country, he said no to fear. When Martin Luther King Jr. led the civil rights movement, he said no to fear. And today, I, Nicholas Allen, say no to fear, and I challenge you all to do the same. Amen.